Ko nuku rākau, tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe e te mana whakawā. Hurunui te whare nei, e mihi atu kia koutou katoa. Sir, I am the last speaker on this bill in the third reading of the Hurunui Kaikōura Earthquakes Recovery Bill. And as speakers before me, sir, have very much critiqued a lot of the technical points of the bill and also the journey, the very sort of quick journey that this bill has had through the House from the first reading. Sir, can I first of all just acknowledge and remember the two people who actually perished during this terrible event, and just to acknowledge their passing, sir, and also the terrible trauma following that, particularly with their whānau. I also would like to acknowledge all of those that were injured, sir, those that have lost property, possessions and all of that. And I want to also acknowledge the previous speaker, my whānau, my whanauka Reno Terikātning, and because I know that along with Stuart Smith, the MP for Kaikōura, they were there right at the beginning of the emergency and continued through. I want to acknowledge, sir, also within this, in this House, and the opportunity to again acknowledge those emergency workers, sir, those that work tirelessly, and even my own whānau, sir, up in Takahanga Marae, Ngāti Kuri, who, along with a number of other services up there, sir, opened their doors. And that is a true sort of reflection, sir, of what we are and what we do as New Zealanders. Sir, the other thing, though, is just a quick reflection on this bill, is that what a great country we live in the fact, sir, that we are sort of world leaders in a lot of sort of different aspects of things. But even when I think back around the giving our women the first vote, race relations, sir, treaty settlement processes. But one thing that we've become sort of renowned for, and particularly unfortunately because we actually live along the Ring of Fire, is the fact, sir, that our incredible sort of response to earthquakes, and what is actually becoming sort of quite well known across the world, is that the way, sir, that we have developed legislation within our Parliament to address those things that need to be addressed through emergency, through recovery and actual rebuild. So this bill, sir, reflects that ongoing work that parliamentarians do from both sides or all sides of the House, and looking at the way that this bill was actually shepherded through the various processes of this Parliament. And to actually, it was a pleasure to be able to sit there with all parties and be able to contribute, as we did collectively in collaboration, to come up with this, what I think again is a fine piece of legislation. Mr. Speaker, the other sort of parts of this too is that we have to think back, because everyone goes and helps those victims of any sort of major event like earthquakes. But we have to think, sir, is that once all that emergency part is finished, and I think those coaches going back north to Kaikōura from, I would believe, my own marae tuahuriri, is that in some ways signals the end of the emergency, but it actually, what it does, it heralds the beginning of the recovery. And it's during that period, sir, when the media focus and all that is sort of leaves it. And what it does, sir, is that the people are left then, well, not left, but they then go back and pick up the pieces of their life, sir, after the event. So we're thinking of them at that time, and particularly around Christmas and New Year, you know, that Christmas cheer. But that particular community, right across there, North Canterbury, Kaikōura, Marlborough, sir, they are resilient as well. We know something about resilience as being Cantabrians because we've been through this and we know what they're going through. So, sir, on that note, it really does, I'm honoured to be able to be the last speaker here and just talk a little bit about the journey of this bill, the reflections of, people who actually really did give, volunteers. These are the real sort of soul of our communities to actually help people who were victims of this event. So on that note, sir, can I also, it may be my last speech in the House before Christmas, can I just say to all of my colleagues from both sides of the House, Meri kirihimete, ngā mihi ki te tauhou. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Nō reira, I have a great honour to commend this bill to the House.